Alright guys, welcome back to another Honkai Star Rail video. Now in this video, we are going to be talking about Welt. Now this is going to be my second recording. I'm going to let you guys know that in my original recording, my video file got corrupted. By the time I went to go begin editing the video, well, yeah, let's just say that my video software just did not recognize it, and when I went to open the unedited footage, then yeah, I kind of just went, no, you're gonna have to record again. So yes, this is going to be my second recording of, I guess, quote-unquote, building Welt, even though technically he is kind of built already, and I'll explain what happened in my original recording. And then afterwards, we are going to jump into one or two fights and kind of show off Welt, how he currently is in the current in-game, or with current in-game content. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. It's probably not going to be as long as the first recording, but it is what it is. I still wanted to get this video out there, seeing as how the video that I made a couple of days ago going over and building my E6 Bailu went pretty well. Like, I was surprised that that video even gained any traction, any viewership whatsoever. It is probably my highest viewing Honkai Star video or Star Rail video that I have put out on the channel so far. So yeah, it kind of kicked in a little bit of a drive for me to actually create more Star Rail content, even if it's not the type of videos that Star Rail players might be looking for. It's, you know, maybe I can just add in a little something that maybe somebody else hasn't, or just kind of like my point of view of things from how I play this game. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Real quick before we jump into the relics that I have given Welt, I did create a new Discord server. I made a community post about a week ago letting everybody know that the server is finally open. It's finally created. So if you are wanting to join, you can click the first link in the description of this video. Now, let's go ahead and review the relics that I decided to go with for Welt. Now, with the set that I got going on, the Pioneer set. So this Pioneer set is actually probably the top choice according to the website that I typically follow for any information when it comes to building or just overall just any info related to a character. The website, which I will link in the description of this video because I have no idea how to pronounce it. Yeah, it's kind of like my go-to, but basically the team basically said that the Pioneer set is the top tier choice when it comes to Welt, so long as there are 3 debuffs active. I don't know if it means on said target. I believe it is to the overall enemies, but it is the top choice. The second top choice for Welt in terms of relic is going to be the Wastelander set, which that one as a 2-piece increases imaginary damage by 10%, or if you go with the 4-piece, whenever attacking debuffed enemies, which Welt does inflict debuffs, the wearer's crit rate increases by 10% and their crit damage increases by 20% against imprisoned enemies, which Welt is pretty good at doing that, at inflicting the imprisonment, which will actually in turn just equal an increase in damage overall. So I feel like depending on set team comps, I think either of the two would actually work out. In terms of differences, there's not really too much differences aside from like the obvious stuff, but overall I don't really think there's hardly too much difference. Again, it just kind of depends on where I guess like what type of fight you are kind of rocking with Welt, or what team you put in with Welt. And I guess, yeah, the fight does actually matter as well. But this is the relic pieces that we actually leveled up, or some of these pieces I actually already had level up because I was grinding the hell out of these pieces for my Acheron. For the headpiece, we got a hit with attack, 1 crit damage, and 3 effect hit rate. Now, speaking of effect hit rate, one thing to note about Welt is that you want to try to get between 50 to 67% in effect hit rate. I am not at that. I am on that technically whenever you are using his skill, and especially with his own light cone. So with his light cone, it is able to give you a temporary increase in effect hit rate whenever you are using his skill. So I do kind of fall in that range whenever I am just using his skill. Now, if I'm using his ultimate, so long as the enemies are not able to resist it, then yeah, they are gonna get inflicted with the imprisonment. So that's, I guess you could say I really don't have too much of an issue when it comes to meeting the effect hit rate. Yeah, I would like to be within that range even before using the skill, but this is what I was able to get at this time. When it comes to gloves, this is what I currently have. Not a bad handpiece. So I did get a hit on attack percentage, none on speed. I did get 2 hits on crit rate and 1 hit on break effect. This is actually, in my opinion, a pretty good piece. Chest piece. I went with a crit rate piece instead of the effect hit rate just because, and this is going also based off of the recording that I did earlier and some of the gameplay that I took Welt in. Looked like the effect hit rate was more than enough with what I currently have on him. So a crit rate chest to try to hopefully get crit rate hits. I felt like would have been much better for Welt. And with this piece, I did get 2 hits on attack, 1 speed, and 1 break effect. Now, when it comes to boots, we have speed boots on him. Now, these boots were originally on Acheron. I do have a set for Acheron for speed as the main stat, and also attack percentage as the main stat. So right now he is currently wearing Acheron's speed boots. If not, then I actually don't have any other speed boots at the moment. The only other type of boots that I have would be attack boots, and then just random other main stat boots. But yes, he currently has these speed boots from Acheron, and this has 1 hit on the crit rate and 3 hits on the crit damage. Now, when it comes to the orb, I went with the Pan-Cosmic Planetary set. Now, this one increases Welt's effect hit rate by 10%, and meanwhile, the wearer's attack increases by an amount that is equal to 25% of the current effect hit rate, up to a maximum of 25%. Now, this piece right here, the orb, Welt wanted to be thick. So he got 3 hits on base HP stat and 1 on base attack stat. But the roll, on the other hand, though, is a little bit different. Not the best, but I did get 2 hits on base HP stats and 2 hits on effect hit rate. I could get something better, but I don't have too much options, especially if I am trying to hit that effect hit percentage. So that is currently where my Welt is standing at the moment in terms of relics. When it comes to Eidolons, he is currently at E1. When it comes to his light cone, currently he has his own light cone in the name of the world, and it is currently at S4 because, yeah, I cannot get Bronya's light cone because they keep giving me Welts on the standard banner. So yeah, 1 more, and I wouldn't be surprised if I get the final one after this, because I am very close to hitting pity, or I should be in the pity range where I could get it at any moment, or I can get any 5-star at any moment. Then yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I finally get my last copy and it becomes an S5. But this will increase the wearer's damage to debuffed enemies by 36%, and when the wearer uses their skill, the effect hit rate for this attack increases by 27% and attack increases by 36%. So these are the current stats that are currently on Welt at the moment. 134 speed, 58.2 crit rate percentage, 92.7 on the crit damage, and then the effect hit rate is currently at 44.9. So overall, It's not bad. It could definitely be better, but I am not gonna be farming pieces for Welt, just for reasons which I will probably go over towards the end of the video when I give my overall thoughts on Welt. So what we are going to do is we are going to take Welt to just a few fights. I was going to do a couple more. I at least wanted to do two of Echo of War fights, but because I've already used two of them in my original recording, then we are just going to be doing one, and then we'll just go into a random fight where we switch up the teams a little bit, and we see how Welt performs in other or in other types of team settings. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alright, so we are starting off with Welt, Ron May, Jaiko, and Adventurine. So this is a pretty good setup in terms of making sure to help support Welt, especially with his Relic set, that debuffs are pretty much basically consistent on being on the boss. And then of course Ron May is basically like our main support, but of course we do have some benefits overall between everybody. Basically, like, everybody is kind of like helping each other out in some way or another. So let's just go ahead and knock it out.
I'm on it. Since you're already here, why not have a meal before the game?
Alright. We'll basic attack for right now. We shall skill. And we shall defense. Skill with Adventurine. We'll basic attack. We shall basic attack again. Then we'll activate Adventurine's ultimate, followed by Welt's.
Survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
There we go. Alright, and they got imprisoned. Very nice.
It's better to make no move. I'm on it.
Lovely timing.
Since you're already here, why not have a meal before the game?
Alright, we shall bounce and even break Big Bug. And vulnerability stacks.
Every petal in all will be swept away by the wind.
Alright. We are actually clapping this thing pretty quickly. We should also take a look at Welt's current stats and see where he is at, now that basically everything is pretty much active.
How about letting the end?
Okay. So let's check out how Welt is. So 62.2 crit rate, 112.7 crit damage. Speed is at 144. Not too bad, not too shabby. Again, could definitely be better if you know, the game's if the game wants to be nice for once with relics. But it is what it is. I think everybody can feel my pain, can hear the pain in my voice. Right. Plenty of debuffs. 63k. Not too bad. I think, well, overall, like, I think he can be used. Just kind of depends on, like, what's going on. Like, the fight. Like, he can, like, so what he offers, like, I think it just depends on, like, the situation. Like, can he actually be a benefit for you? Can he be a benefit for somebody else on the team? Just kind of like things like that, where it's just like, if I don't have this other character, can Welt actually be beneficial for me? You know, I kind of feel like he's more of like a situational based type of unit, or like, if you need him, you need him. Can you use him? Then you can use him. But if you don't need him, then it's all good. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
It's better to
I don't really think that he's fallen off per se. I think, like I said, he's just more of like the situational based character. Like, yeah, I mean, taking advantage of his slow debuff can help out. The fact that he is an imaginary character, so of course, if he breaks, imprisonment. And then of course with his ultimate, it's basically like a, if I'm not mistaken, it's a guarantee that he does imprison a target. Unless for some reason they can't, then yeah, that's different. Oh, nice. So, yeah, I think like Welt just has like his place whenever he is like needed, but that's really about it. So, now let's try out a different team since we are done using the Echo of Wars because yeah, file corruption. Let's just jump into like a random like, I don't know, let's go farm some traces or something. Except we're gonna not use Welt as like the main like quote unquote DPS, but just like having like where he can actually be used, which I think there was one specific character that I think there could be some players that actually use Welt with. Alright, so for the second / final one, seeing as how Rappa is going to be dropping in the next update 2.6, I figured since I am considering picking up a copy of her or just getting one copy of her, let's farm some traces while I make a video. So, in this video we do have Acheron, Welt, Jaiko, and Adventuring, and I think everybody is probably has a good idea as to why I set up this team. Is because of the fact that, well, basically everybody here is able to support Acheron in their own way. So, yeah, let's just quickly go through these. Was it 6 rounds? And go about our day.
Since you're already here, why not have a meal before the meal?
Another journey.
What? You didn't die from a dice hut, dare you? Alright.
How about letting the
Let's go ahead and activate his ultimate.
Survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
Very nice. And we're activating Acheron's. By the way, before anybody asks, yes, I did make sure that Acheron had her attack boots on and not the ones that I switched out with Welt. For people start freaking out like, oh my god, did you forget to do that? Please tell me you did that. What is wrong with you? Yeah, let's just do our thing, man. I mean, we're just farming traces at this point, but I mean, this is just another example of what team comps, or another team comp that you can actually have Welt in. We'll just ultimate with Acheron because, yeah, finish this bad boy up quickly. So yeah, overall, I think Welt, solid unit. Of course, we do have many more options now in the game that maybe Welt might get overlooked, but it just kind of depends on, like, of course, players' accounts, what they need out of a character, can they actually use a character, you know, so on and so forth. So I am curious to know what everybody thinks down in the comment section below. Again, I don't think I said this at the beginning of the video, but these are not my typical kind of videos, so in terms of, like, you know, giving like advice and stuff like that, I am probably not the best one to ask for when it comes to these type of things. Like, I have some knowledge of the game. Do I know like freaking like fully Wikipedia type level knowledge? No, probably not. But I at least know some things here and there, and like these are the type of videos that I can see myself making later or down the line, especially since the recent Bailu video that I had that I dropped a couple of days ago actually did pretty well, and I was pleasantly surprised at the traction that it actually got from that. But yeah, I'm curious to know what you guys think about Welt overall, and have you used him in the past before? Are you still using him now? And that's going to be it. So yeah, again guys, I do have a Discord server now, so if you wanted to join, feel free to join. Link down in the description of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.